Hi there and welcome back to Valley por Vida. Well, music is the universal language, and for some it's a passion that can be turned into a career. Today we're visiting with one Valley resident who's done just that, and he's got some tips for aspiring artists to keep in mind. So here's today's Music Spotlight segment.
Good morning, my name's Kaiser. I'm a singer-songwriter for a band, and I'm about to tell you a little bit about myself. I started many years ago, actually in a whole different genre. Whenever I started making music, I was about 16 years old. I come from San Antonio, born and raised in San Antonio. And at 16 years old, I started making my own music. I started with a keyboard, with a little keyboard with banks in it, like you had back in the day. And I started making beats, and after making beats, I started obviously rapping to it. I was very involved in rap at that time. From that, I started recording. I had a producer in San Antonio put me on, started recording me, introduced me to a group over there called Texas Headliners, and I was a part of them for a while, did really good with our music. It was a great learning experience from there. I was about 16, 17 years old, and then when I turned 18 years old, I moved down here to the Valley. Coming to the Valley was a whole different experience for me, coming from a big city. It was a big change for me, big change. So I was brand new, I didn't know many people. So when I got down here, I was introduced to a lot of people and eventually met somebody who ended up becoming my producer, which is LD. He was a great dude. He showed me a lot about music, and he introduced me to a group that was currently being made called Vida. And that was maybe like in 2005, I want to say, maybe 2004. And we did great with G-Dub. We did a lot of music. Back then, when you would drop an album, your albums had about 18 songs on them. So we dropped multiple albums, making lots of music. We were one of the first groups in the Valley to do a lot of things like music videos. We were on the radio, we did stuff like that. We did little tours like Laredo and Texas and stuff like that. And we were doing great as a group. We did great. After a while, some of the group ended up separating, going their own ways. I stayed in the group as a solo artist, doing my own thing, and I created something called Dolphins. And what Dolphins is, it was just like, my own thing that we were doing. My producer was helping me put it together. We took Dolphins and I made an original album, a solo album that I did mixtapes and stuff. And a little bit after that, I picked up another artist, Young Ace, and we became the Dolphin Duo. We were really known down here. We did lots of videos, we did shows everywhere. We did great. The chemistry was awesome. We did a lot of things together. We spent years together dropping multiple albums together, and it was awesome. It was awesome. But after some time growing up, I think when I was turning maybe like 29, 30 years old, I did my last album, which ended up being like a Christian positive album that I dropped as my last rap album. And it was a very loved album, got a lot of love from it, but after that, I kind of started falling out of love with rap. I'm not hating on anybody that raps. I still like rap to listen to, but personally, me making rap, I don't really see myself doing that anymore. So I kind of fell out of love with it and I left music completely. I sold my studio. I just stopped doing music, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do music, I'm gonna focus on other things. I created a small business of my own that I've been controlling and having. It's going very well still. And that's where I was focusing on for a while. So after like 2 years of not making any music, somebody once told me that music lives in your soul. And I feel like that's really true, because not doing music, you feel empty when you're a musician. When you're connected to music, you start feeling empty when you don't have music. And for those 2 years, I had that emptiness and I couldn't figure it out. And I wasn't ready to do rap anymore. I just wanted to be in touch with my music side still. So one day I decided to buy a guitar. I bought a guitar and I said, you know what, I'm gonna teach myself how to play. I didn't have anybody to teach me. I had an app on my phone actually that taught me the basics of learning guitar. And once I learned the basics of guitar, I'm creative. I've always been a creative. I'm a lyricist. I can write very well. I can put things together. I know how to compose very well. From all the years of rap that I did, I built that skill and that talent. So grabbing a guitar, once I learned how to play some chords, it just came naturally. Like I started writing music. The first song I ever wrote was for my daughter, beautiful song. And that was like the jump for me. I knew, you know what, I can do music again. And so I started making more songs, just writing. Wanted to be an acoustic artist, so I was like doing acoustic stuff. I started getting stuff to record. I rebuilt a studio, and it was just me, I was doing my thing with the guitar. But about a year ago, I told my wife, I'm like, man, I really wish I had a band. Like, I can feel like the music that I'm making is going in a direction where if I had a band, it would just be so much better. So that was a year ago. Throughout that year, from then till now, I've put together a band, and it started just by planting seeds. You know, I looked online, I looked everywhere. I couldn't find people to want to be in the band, or not really want to be, but people that were available. So in my friend circle, I had my friend Limon, who is now my drummer. I planted the seed with him. I said, hey man, I know you make beats and stuff. Would you be interested in being the drummer for the band? If you are, let me know. I'll help you buy a drum set tomorrow. I planted the seed. The next day he called me and said, let's do it, man. I want to be part of the band. So it started off with me and him, just jamming out, doing our thing. And then pretty soon after that, my friend Alex, he used to play bass a long time ago, he mentioned, so I gave him the opportunity. I said, hey man, if you would like to play bass, I have a bass you can use for now. Come jam out. He came, we jammed out, never left. He's been here ever since. So that was everybody until we had the last piece, which is Lando Valley. He's a lead guitarist. He was actually watching what we had been doing online. He really liked what we were doing. So he contacted me and said he would like to come and try out. And he came one day and it was magic. And since then, we've been practicing twice a week for 4 hours. We've been putting a lot of time and effort, a lot of money. Like this genre is like a whole different thing from rap. I've spent more money in this genre than my whole rap career altogether, and I'm barely starting, and it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different learning process. Before, as rap, your mouth is your instrument, and now it's like, now it's not just my mouth, there's actual instruments. Learning to play and sing was ridiculous. It was hard, but we finally got through all that. Everything is going good with the band now. We're ready to do shows. We started our debuts. We're already booking. Everything's going well. We're finally on like Spotify and all that stuff. You know, you can find us if you look for us, but it's going really well. And now I can't wait to bring you guys the show that we've been putting together. And every time we do a show, it just gets better and better. And we're just excited to show you guys what we have now.
There you have it, music inspiration for days. And if you'd like more information on, or you'd like to lend your support for them, feel free to give them a call. And of course, you can always follow them on social media. All right, well, that's all of our time for now. We want to thank you again so much for joining us this morning, and be sure to tune in again on Monday, because our team will be visiting a McAllen High School librarian to learn about a unique UFO sci-fi book themed that he co-authored. We'll also talk about summer foods that can help protect you against the sun's harmful sun rays. Plus, we've got details on a nonprofit foundation geared toward rearing bright, strong, and intelligent young men right here in the Rio Grande Valley. Now, don't forget to follow our team on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks at what we've got filming for the show. And of course, you can always visit valleycentral.com to rewatch some of today's favorite segments. We've got all of that and so much more next week on Valley por Vida. We'll see you then. All right, I'm going to go to the again? Should I? Okay, sorry. Should I do that part over again, or should I leave it? In post. Yeah. Because I plan on having Gage cut out that. I plan on having Gage cut out that last part where I was talking at the end of the segment where I was not supposed to be in there. So since he has to go into post-production edit this one anyway. So I don't know. Okay, let me do it real quick. Oh. Let me go back. It works out good anyway, since I went back to fix the woodworking CG, you know? Okay. Cool. You're good. Let me see. Okay. All right. All right, well, that is all of our time for now. We want to thank you again so much for joining us this morning, and be sure to tune in again on Monday because our team will be visiting a McAllen High School librarian to talk about a unique UFO sci-fi themed book that he authored. We'll also talk about summer foods that can help protect you against the sun's harmful sun rays. Plus, we've got details on a nonprofit foundation geared toward rearing bright, strong, and intelligent young men right here in the Valley. Now, don't forget to follow our team on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks at what we've got filming for the show. And of course, you can always visit valleycentral.com to rewatch some of today's favorite segments. We've got all of that and so much more next week on Valley por Vida. We'll see you then. Cool, I'll be back.